I think that is a general, like, kind of like feelings when something new that comes that people say, whoa, am I going to be irrelevant? Am I going to be obsolete? Am I going to be like losing my job and losing my values? I think that is what people are mostly afraid of.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
The Hilton sale is on. Now through September 29th, you can save up to 20% on stays this fall and beyond. Long weekends, last-minute getaways, holiday gatherings. There's a Hilton stay for all of them. More moments, more experiences, more destinations. Now 20% off for a limited time because it matters where you stay. Don't wait. Book by September 29th and save up to 20% at Hilton.com. Terms apply. Hilton for the stay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the You Should Know podcast. My name is Ryan Leary. I am here with, of course, William Tincup. And today's guest, we have Aaron on from Smith.ai, who I believe is going to be just a really good guest. We've got really interesting topics to talk about today. We're going to talk about FOBO, which, William, you introduced me to a couple weeks ago, the fear of being obsolete. Which
it's a real fear.
I'm not sure I have a fear of being obsolete. Who would want to get rid of me? I mean, look at me. If you're watching me, look at this face. It's gorgeous.
No, I understand.
I'm kidding. Aaron, nice to have you here. Nice to have you on with the audience. Why don't you kick us off, introduce yourself, and give the audience a little taste about who you are, and then we'll get this thing rolling.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. Excited to be here. And let me talk a little bit about myself, how I ended up.
We started off with a lot. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All this stuff. I think it's going to be so cool. So I was an engineer by training. I joined Google back in like 2004 as one of the first engineer on building Google Video from the ground up. And so I work on a lot of search, advertising, storage, networking. And 2006, like Google acquired YouTube. I joined the YouTube team. I built up their monetization. I work on the machine learning, the framework on how to target the customers. Like these are the videos that you would like to see, right? Because you saw the other videos, or these are the things and topics like that you
the recommendation engine behind
that. A little bit of recommendation engine, and I think Netflix did some of these like kind of movie recommendation as well.
Oh, that's cool.
The early stage of the AI, like back in the days, we call it machine learning. We call it like user recommendation system. Mm-hmm. And I left in 2008, because Google went from 2,000 people when I joined to 20,000 people when I left. So it was like
a different company.
Amazing growth. Really, really great. And then I said, I learned something from Google and very entrepreneurial, and started my first company called Red Beacon, which is a marketplace to connect the homeowners with the professionals, right? Basically, it's like you go to the platform, you say, hey, I need someone to help me fix this. And we basically blast out the best signal and say, hey, we have a customer who are interested in this kind of project. If you're interested, put in your proposal, and then we'll connect you guys, right? It's a much better way. That was back in 2008. It's really democratized, the two-sided marketplaces. And we, the funny thing is when we started the company, that was the financial crisis in 2008. And all the VC firms is like, hey, there's no money. We're not going to write any checks to any companies. And it turns out it was a blessing, because we were heads down building the company. By the time we launched in 2009, there were no competitors because no one got funded in the past year.
Right.
And we took the top price of TechCrunch, and we launched nationwide. We closed our the first round of financing from Mayfield and Ramrock. Yeah. And we just went nationwide. And within a couple of years, like Home Depot saw that and say, wait a minute, this is really cool, because Home Depot has the brand. They have over 2,000 stores in US. They have both sides of the marketplace. They walk into the store, right? Just in different aisles. Like they got the supply side, they got the demand side. They said, like, we want this, because one of the things that they worry about is like Amazon is gonna eat their lunch.
Yes.
And so they need to
Toys R Us ignored Home Depot.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Can't buy plywood through Amazon.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think about that.
Yeah.
And it's like, why don't we do that? Why don't we build the products and the services so that when people go into the store, and I think the millennial and some of the Gen Z, they say, I have no time, right? I don't want to build my own deck or my porch or my bookshelf, and that was gone in the days. Like back then, you guys probably remember, you will go to the Home Depot every weekend, you do some kind of project.
Back then, I still do.
Yeah.
I still do.
Nowadays,
5 times for the same
I
thing.
don't. I'm more of a millennial in this regard.
So I
don't own a garage. I don't have a garage.
No, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Because I don't want any tools. I don't want to have any tools, but I don't want to have any responsibilities.
Yeah.
I feel like this is coming full circle. So you go to Home Depot, you go 20 times a weekend to finish a project while you're watching the video and the recommended videos on YouTube that you create.
You had a hand in all of that.
Yeah. You just...
And then we would say, like, wait a minute, I just need someone that I can trust and do the work. I pick up the material, pick up the countertop or cabinets. And would it be nice if I can do that right there? And I can trust Home Depot because they have the brand, they have the guarantee, they have all this stuff. So that become part of the very natural ecosystem for Home Depot to build. Like,
did y'all do a partnership Did y'all do a partnership at first, or
no?
Did they rush? They go straight to acquisition.
Straight to acquisition because they see that as a huge opportunity. I think by the time I left,
very smart.
2015, I stay on for a few years, like really build out the program. If you go to any of the Home Depot store today, you will see my work there. And it was a multi-billion-dollar business because it just makes sense. Like, I mean, on every level.
Yeah. Mayfield loves you. Mayfield loves you. Is what I just heard.
Yeah. and because of that, I got to work with the pros almost on a daily basis. I hear the pain points. They always say, look, I wish Home Depot can answer their calls because I'm just too busy. I'm always driving on the road at the project, up at the roof, down at the, like, whatever crawl space that they're in and doing the projects. I have no time. And when they miss the call, the opportunity
they miss the business.
Is huge, right? It could be someone calling in, wanted to do a kitchen remodeling for $10,000. And just because you couldn't catch the customer at that moment, they lost that deal. And that was like kind of motivating me on starting the company. That was back in 2015. And that was really exciting because actually in the beginning, we thought AI is gonna be a lot faster. And interestingly, 2015 was also the same year that OpenAI started.
Right.
Like everyone thought, we're all optimists, we're all technologists. We thought, it just take a few years, and I want to be there when it took 6-7 years for us to get to the first ChatGPT, and a year later we have GPT-4, we have the Turbo, we have all these stuff. But that was really the foundational kind of the beginning of the company. Like, there's got to be a way where AI and human can work together to deliver a much better and much higher services at a very affordable cost that any small businesses or medium business can use us. So today, we actually have people that run a small business, like one-man band, like kind of spend a few $100s with us, handling 1 to 2 calls per day, all the way to nationwide companies spending like $500,000 with us per year because we are so good to the point that we actually replace the in-house call center.
Right.
Like, we are 24/7, we're omni-channel, we deploy AI with our agents. So we get that kind of like emotional handling plus the accuracy. Because if you think about all this business, they all have their own business logic. They have own kind of like way of running the business. Some people like to handle customers within 10 miles because they don't like to drive. Some people say, you know what? I'm hungry. I want to grow. I will be happy to drive for an hour if that means it's a bigger job. So every business is a little bit unique and different. And you really need to have that AI as a co-pilot to drive and help our agents. So another thing I want to share is we monitor every single mistake, complaint, concern from our customers. And our correctness is 99.7%. We almost don't make mistakes. Now, if we're all human. I make mistakes all the time. You have a good day, you have a rough day, you have a bad day.
Sure.
Then if you don't have the technology to guide them, they will make human mistakes, understandably. 100%. But if you have the technology combined with the human, which is a very friendly voice, then you can do a much better way that save them the money, save them the time, and have a much better services.
Well, one of the things I like about what you've built outside of all the things you said is you'd use their tools.
Yeah.
So as a business owner, you've got some type of tech stack of things that you use. And the fact that you don't make your customers go to a unique place, go to Smith.ai, and then go learn about and log in and do this, that, and the other. It's like, no, if their stack is Zapier and ActiveCampaign and Salesforce, great. Yeah. You can do the communications layer, which is so important. I think you spoke about it a little during pre-show, but because people's patience, maybe even attention span, and expectations have shifted to seconds and minutes, and so there's a real I really like the story of if you don't answer the call, you're not going to get that business. They're not going to call back. They're not going to leave a voicemail. It's just gone. There was an opportunity lost. So take all those opportunity lost, and you can calculate. You might not have won every one of those deals, but you definitely lost all of the deals that you missed the calls on.
Right. Exactly. We have many examples where the business are only using us. They're not doing any type of other marketing or spending money. They grew the company, quadruple the company in 5 years.
Yeah, just by responding to people?
Just by getting back to it's really basic. And when you think about it, people always ask, what is your secret sauce? I mean, there's no secret sauce.
You got to buy this poster, or I'll buy it for you and ship it to you. But there's Despair.com. I don't know if you ever checked out their stuff. It's the anti-successories. So the successories posters about champions, whatever the bid is. They've got one of them at Despair.com where it's a phone. It's an old-fashioned phone with cobwebs, and it says, "Customers, if we stop answering, maybe they'll stop calling."
That's perfect for your wall.
That is such a great. You've got to get it. They've got coffee cups and all that other stuff. But
wow. Yes, I would love
it. It fits you because the whole bit is if you answer again, if someone has been responded to, it's not even if someone's need has been met about the responsiveness. I have a question about this, and can you respond in whatever way that they want, meeting them wherever they are, maybe it's Twitter or whatever, wherever they are, and respond to them, that already starts that relationship off on the right foot.
Yeah. So, Aaron, let's talk about FOBO. Okay, so we talked about FOBO, fear of being obsolete. When I say the word FOBO, what goes through your mind? What do you think?
I think that is a general, feelings when something new that comes, that people say, whoa, am I going to be irrelevant? Am I going to be obsolete? Am I going to be losing my job and losing my values? I think that is what people are mostly afraid of. And I would always go back to say, we always kind of overestimate what technology can do in the short term and underestimate what they can do in the long term. I think that was what Bill Gates said. I think if you look at the near term, or mid to near term, AI is incredible, right? The technology and the way that they can do it. But if you look at on the accuracy, if you look at the latency, you look at sometimes they just make things up. It's very dangerous.
Or spell the word burrito.
You spell the word burrito.
And so, I mean, like, yes, it can help us to do some of the mundane tasks,
Right.
Yeah.
but you always need some kind of like combination between the human and the AI. So we have seen, by the way, I keep track of the technologies. As I said, I'm engineer by training. I love the new tech. I look at all these startups that come up with the demos and say, hey, we can do this voice AI.
Yeah.
And I always like try to do it and try to like kind of giving them a little bit of hard time. In the first few sentences, they sound very nice and like they can say things that are good. After a while, they lose the context. They just
100%.
like, they drift away. And I mean,
they can't handle sarcasm.
They
can't
cannot.
handle cursing. They can't handle all those types of things, and they can't handle anything dark humor. They can't handle that. So if you say something dark, they don't understand it. So it's still like that smart 10-year-old we talked about. Like, okay, it's a really smart 10-year-old.
It's very smart. Like they don't
very smart
things. They read all the books on the whole internet.
It's very smart, but it's still a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
So it's artificial, but it's not quite intelligent.
Right. I think that is what like you're seeing now. Of course, like if you look at the rate of change.
Oh yeah.
Like you look at NVIDIA. They just had a developer conference. Like it's mind blowing. They are really hitting the limit of physics. Right. The chips and processors and the parallel like
quantum computing coming to a theater near us. So
right, the raw computing power is just astonishing. So I think
something he said during that thing I want to get your take on is he said he said a lot of, I don't say controversial, but I think they're really cool, kind of forward thinking things. He said, yeah, you don't need to learn coding anymore. So if you're a parent and you've been sending your kid to coding camps and all that stuff, stop that. They don't need to do that. AI can do all that for you. You just got to learn how to direct AI to code for you. Because you don't have to learn the code anymore or learn how to code anymore. And when I first heard it, I had to go back and listen to it again. Like, was he joking? Like, was this a bit? And it wasn't a bit. He really believes that whether now or in the future, you still need to learn code, which is crazy to me to think of, because there's so many people that have built their lives through, being great software engineers, so great software architects, and actually learning code and learning how to do things. Like, so what's your, as he said it, and again, I went back and watched it a couple of times to make sure it wasn't a comedic bit. He was serious.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. I think like he's serious in terms of like, if you think about, if everyone is doing that, who's going to build the next version of the NVIDIA chipset? Who's going to build the next version of the, like, if we talk about the AGI, right? I mean, will we actually to the point that they can self-iterate? They can say, hey, the AI is going to develop the next version of the chipset to make them even smarter, right? Would it happen? Maybe, maybe not, right? But if you think about all the, I call it typical programming tasks, right? And GitHub has the copilot that will come in and say, hey, William, this part of the code is probably not going to work.
Right.
Let me rewrite the code and take a look, right? I'm going to write the test cases for you to make sure that like my code is actually working.
Oh, I like that, because the smaller the code, basically you could go into some fat code and then shrink it down. Still does the same thing, but it makes it faster.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
It's definitely happening, right? I think like people can detect, they can upgrade, they can like level, like basically identify the bugs before you as a developer identify it. You can ask the GitHub to say, hey, this is what I would like to, kind of the skeleton code. I would like to talk to ActiveCampaign. Can you use the API? They will spit out the scaffolding, right, for you. And then you just like mix the business logic. You can kind of change. I think you will see the AI that can do, let's say today, 50% of the work that will get to 60, 70, or 80%. And eventually, there's still going to be a human. The human is still going to be like handling the last 10% or 20%. But suddenly you have this, like in Silicon Valley, we call it 10x engineer, right? It's like
Tuesday on NBC. Jimmy Fallon and Bozoma St. John host the highly anticipated new competition show.
I hired 10 creatives from all walks of life. They will be battling it out to see who can impress the world's biggest brands.
This is a huge opportunity.
This is the battle for the next big idea.
This is not play.
We're spending millions of dollars.
I'm so excited to embark on this adventure with all of you.
May the best idea win!
On Brand with Jimmy Fallon. Series premiere Tuesday on NBC.
Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
Someone who can be so productive that it's like if you hire that one person, it's equivalent to like 10 other people.
Right.
And that is certainly true, even back in the early days of Google.
Right.
The initial search team, like the Jeff Dean and a few other folks, there's like less than 10 people. They wrote the search engine, right? They are the 100x engineer. I mean, they're not even 10x, right? That was so amazing. But imagine if nowadays a typical engineer can have that power. They can become 5x, they can become 10x. I think that is definitely what we're going to see. But I always tell the question, like, you got to know what questions to ask.
Yeah.
The right answer. If you don't even know what questions to ask, there's no smart AI that can help you. But in order to know what questions to ask, you need to understand, like, the logic behind it. You need to understand how the system works. You actually need to understand, like, why AI hallucinate, because they are a gigantic next character predictor. That means
so for the audience that doesn't understand hallucinations outside of the other references around hallucinations, what do you mean? What does that mean for the audience?
Yeah, it means like when you ask the AI to do a task, they may come back with an answer which is completely irrelevant. They might make up things that are completely not true. I mean, sometimes they even do the...
Sounds like me.
They do the math wrong, right? I mean, depending on how many...
version of you.
Yeah, it's not very intelligent because they're not trying to be intelligent. They're just predicting the next word.
Is that a context? Is that a context thing? Or
I think it's a lot of things. It's the context window. It's like how much knowledge that you have. It's like how you predict the next word or the next sentence. Now, having said that, there are many research going on that augment the AI with the knowledge base. That would feed them and say, hey, we know... Did
you mean this or this?
Yes.
Yeah.
It should be this and not that. Like, you're making a mistake. Yeah.
So Aaron, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Ryan.
So I was going to go to an education question here. When does higher education, or even high school, let's say high school, right? When does education start to move away from textbooks and history and into how to work with and how to prompt and how to work with AI, how to be a developer leveraging AI? When does it just shift? When do we see that?
I think you're seeing a little bit of divide, right? I mean, some schools or high school or like middle school or even like colleges, they're debating. We allow the students to use AI. Now, if you ask the students like to write a passage or write an article and they just copy and paste whatever AI, then they're not learning. Like that is like the opposite of learning. It's just like copy and paste.
Well, you're learning how to cheat.
Yeah,
which is a form of learning, but
it's like a negative form of learning. Like it's not a positive, right? But if you say, you know what, I'm really got stuck because I don't understand my geometry teacher when they talk about this like theorem or whatever. Can you ask AI to give me some examples? Can you elaborate? Can you tell me a little bit? I think that would be super helpful. So again, it really depends on how you leverage the system. But always remember, the AI may be wrong. So you need to fact check it. You need to make sure that, is that what the formula is? Now, most of the times they are right.
It's especially in simple tasks.
Simple tasks. Like And of course, there are also research going into like, can we break down the problem so that like instead of solving the one problem in one prompt, you go into multiple phases and get the AI to explain themselves. Like, why do you say that?
And even do references and things like that, so you could go back and see their logic tree and also where they got that information.
Exactly.
Like, I'm thinking about Wikipedia a lot when I think about this stuff, because like when you search Wikipedia and on something generic, it'll then say the disambiguation. It'll say, do you mean this, or this? So it gets you then to go down the right path, but it's prompting you. Like if you want to talk about this, like you could type in model in Wikipedia, and it will then push you into, do you mean fashion model?
Mm-hmm.
Do you mean modeling, as in terms of building models? Do you mean this? Like I think I call it wayfinding in my brain, because I think AI will get a layer there that will help people then get to the thing, so it won't be, the hallucinations will be less, but also the accuracy of what they're really trying to search for, the answer that they're trying to search for. I think it'll be easier for them. And that's it's
interesting
just in time.
You said that. There's actually a startup called DivBot, and what they do is they index and scan the entire website, collect all this information, and turn it into structured information. They call it the knowledge graph.
Yeah.
So that means when you ask something, they can say, oh, the reason I said that because I'm getting it from this page, and because this page is linked to that page, and because like they're talking about these, and they can give you references. It's almost like
that's cool.
When you go to academics, right? When you write a paper, you say, the reason I said this because I am getting it from this reference. And so it's almost like you can explain how you derive the answer as opposed to you just make something up.
Oh, I like that.
So, okay, so now that you bring that, I want to ask this because I've thought about this. I'm writing a research paper, and I've got to cite my sources. So I went to the encyclopedia, if you guys remember that, or I went here, I went there, right? Why is that fact and truth, but not the stuff AI is finding? So how do I know that the encyclopedia is actually true just because somebody wrote it?
Well, because if you go back in the early days, like they actually have a very rigorous system.
They did.
Right?
They did.
And so it's not anyone that can come in and tell you the world is flat. Right. Now,
right. And then comparing that to where we're at now, where we're going.
The world is flat. If everyone said the world is flat, the AI would say, yeah, the world is flat.
Right.
AI doesn't know that. They have no right or wrong. They just say what is the next word that has the highest probability, which is flat and not round.
So there we're flat Earth now.
Yeah.
Do you believe that there's a Moore's law kind of approach to AI? Like, do you think it's going to happen like Moore's law plays out?
I think it's like more than Moore's law. If you look at like kind of the rate of change, right? I mean, they said, look, every year you're double in like whatever capacitors and processing speed. We are seeing a step change. We are seeing like we're still in the early inning. That's why a lot of the development feels like, wow, this is amazing. We got 5x, 10x, and not just 2x. Now, at some point, we will be approaching the physics limit, right? We'll be approaching some of the computation limit. And people say...
Because you can't change time.
Right. You can't change time. You can actually, like when I was working at Google Video, we talk about like, how can we make the video to serve faster? And we hit the limit called the light. The speed of light matters, right? If you have to stream
can't get faster than that. Sorry.
From a data center in US to Japan, the speed of light matters. Even if you put down all the optical fibers and
still can't go faster than the speed of light. Sorry.
You can go faster than the speed of light.
Wow. That's basic physics. That's so great.
And here I thought I was just typing in how to do something.
Well, you were. But I love the idea of like what made a source a source. And again, we're looking at AI at the early point. Ryan and I sometimes with guests, we talk about where we're at with AI and the similarities of where we were with the internet, like in '96. You know, people were on the internet, or at least a form of the internet, and there was all this stuff of hype of what the internet would or wouldn't do. And it seems the hype with AI is still, at least in our market, in our industry, which deals with work, the hype is still way outpaced kind of the reality.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is going to catch up, and it's going to do different things than what we predicted and what's been predicted for us.
Yeah. So the way I think about it is, as long as you have a little bit of human oversight, that you don't blindly trust what the AI tells you to do, right? Then I think you will see the productivity gain. You will see people actually more efficient, more productive. Like, for example, like you can ask AI to proofread your content, and they can say, yep, these are the 4 typos, these are the grammatical mistakes. Like, and by the way, we use AI to generate the call summary so that we don't have typos, we don't have those are deterministic. You can trust it. Like, of course we have the agent to review the summary, but it's a lot faster.
Yeah.
And
because they're not creating the summary.
Not creating it. You just say, hey, does it look good to you? Oh, like you probably change a few things and you're good. Same goes for the higher education, right? The AI can help you understand the topic, help you formulate kind of like the framework. But at the end of the day, you still need to proofread it. You still need to look at like the content and say, is it actually making sense? I think the correctness and the latency is going to be the 2 biggest like bottleneck that people can say, you know what, like we can trust the AI. Unfortunately, I think even at 90% accuracy, it's not good enough.
Right.
Even 95% is not good enough. That means you're making 5 mistakes for every 100 tasks that you do. Yeah.
Yeah. And those tasks could be huge. I mean, those could be huge things too, not like minor. You put a comma in the wrong place. That could be massive.
I mean, healthcare, like fintech, on all this like highly regulated, like especially healthcare, it's like life or death, right? I mean, you can help the radiologists to give them the idea, but you still need, like, maybe it doesn't take them like a whole hour to look at the scan. Now it takes them like 10 minutes, but you still need to kind of like, does it make sense? Like, what are the data can we corroborate the outcome or the result or the analysis? I think that is what you're seeing. I don't think people are getting obsolete. I think people are getting more efficient. So that means for the next generation, if you want to be really kind of take advantage of it, you need to say, what are the values that I can add? How can I ask the AI? What are the smart questions that you can ask?
Listen. That's the sound of the fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. The sound of captivating electric performance, dynamic drive, and the quiet confidence of ultra-smooth handling. The elevated interior reminds you this is more than an EV. This is electric performance redefined. The fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron.
Every minute your finance team spends wrestling with data is a minute lost. Insight Software's AI-powered insights instantly move you from complexity to clarity. Automated analysis, real-time reporting, strategic recommendations, all at your fingertips. Transform how your finance team works and watch your business grow. Stop wasting time. Start making smarter decisions. Learn more at insightsoftware.com/AI.
Do either of you watch Chicago Med?
No.
No. All right. So I can't even ask the question. So they have in the hospital, they call 2.0, which is the surgical room, operating ER room. But it's all artificial intelligence. And so it diagnoses, it tells you exactly, it tells the surgeon, here's what it is, here's where you're going to go, here's how you're going to fix it. But it has to be monitored by a human, obviously, and then the surgeon interacts with it. So I guess the question, it's really interesting as you watch it, but the question is, how far away are we from that being in a hospital, in an operating room?
I think we've seen like robotic surgery. I mean, we've seen kind of like these like robots try to do, because they're very precise and they know exactly what they need to do. And even for a very experienced like human surgeon, sometimes like your eyesight, your hands, you have to down to like sub-millimeter precision. That is what they're really good at. I actually don't know how far we are from there. I mean, we could be very close, where they will come in, they will look at all the biometrics, look at your BP, your heart rate, like do this CAT scan. They can collect multiple informations,
right?
And then they can do the diagnosis. I don't know if you watched. There was a old show on TV called House. And,
of course.
And he's the guy who understands so many things. It's like
he was
Mr. AI.
Right? I mean, what if you connect all the dots and you understand so much, and now you're saying, okay, now we're getting more of these kind of data points, because AI, they don't sleep, they don't get tired.
No, they don't form unions. Right. They don't have to. Turns out they don't need breaks. All of that stuff. It's funny, as you were talking, Ryan and I did a podcast with a guy in New York that has bots, and they're named bots, and he sells them as employees or like employees, but it's just like all they do is do actuarial tables and find errors in actuarial tables and then alert the human being.
Yeah.
Here's where the error is. So they don't fix it because the companies don't want them to fix it. They want them to find it and then let somebody then go and fix it themselves. And what's fascinating about that is he packages them like Sally, Jenny, Ted, whatever, and you rent it. I mean, it's something that you have. It's a staffing play. That's exactly right, Ryan. It's a staffing play, but it's a staffing of these bots or AI that go through and do a very specific task. And I love that. First of all, the precision of going through an actuarial table for a human being. The error rate had to have been high. For AI to be able to go through that and find any of the errors, I love that.
Yeah. I think you can see like two examples. Like number one, I think there's like more voice AI in like order taking, right? You can call in, they can understand, because the domain, right, is the restaurant menu, right? The kind of the data domain is very limited, very scoped down. The cost of mistake is low. Like, let's say you order something wrong, you're not going to be so mad. It's not life or death situation. And
you either have fries or you don't.
Yeah, right. Maybe you didn't get the like sweet potato fries versus onion fries versus whatever, right? I mean, you're not going to be so mad, right?
Yeah.
That is where I think the AI will start deploying in, I call the low value transactions, where the cost of making a mistake is not that bad. And on the other hand, you look at the other spectrum of like self-driving. The cost of mistake is high. Like you could die, right? Or like you have to be very, very careful. And that's why like Google, like Waymo or Tesla has been working on it for more than a decade.
Oh, yeah.
And it's still not quite there because it is very, very challenging.
I did a self-driving car in Vegas. It was through Lyft. So I knew all the HR-related people at Lyft, been at a conference. So they gave me a different type of account. And I was in Vegas, and it asked me, would you like to ride in a self-driving car? I'm like, yeah. Connect your Spotify account. It made me do a couple other things. Picked me up at the airport, and it was a 7 Series, BMW 7 Series, and there was nothing on the dash.
Yeah.
But they had an LED sign that said, "Hi, William, how you doing? What playlist would you like to play?" And I'm like, I just told them what the playlist is, voice activated. And they're like, all right, cool, randomized. And it drove me to the Bellagio.
Wow.
And so the entire time I was in Vegas for that trip, it drove me around.
Yeah.
And it was a trip because I'm in the back seat, like a ride share, right? I'm in the back seat, and there's nothing up front. There's no pedals.
It's kind of trippy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like
scary.
these. I really like the Spotify thing. That was my favorite. I'm skip. All right, yeah, play that. louder. I didn't care, but it was going through red lights. I'm not going through red lights. It would come to a red light. It would stop. It would wait till it turns green, wait like a second or two, and then it would go. And like, it was a trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I think we're getting there. But like the cost of mistake is so high that they have to take the time.
That's right. There's no shortcuts there.
Yeah, there's no shortcuts there. Yeah.
I like that you've bifurcated things that have things that would have a tremendous impact on one's life versus things that you'd be inconvenienced if you didn't get those sweet potato fries, but it's not life threatening.
Yeah.
You know, I like that. No, I think AI can take over those things. I think it's that, and your comment around we fear the technological shifts, like when horse and buggy went to cars, right? When we had first time we got on planes, like everyone, there's just a fear. And there's a certain part, probably there's an adoption curve, but some part people like didn't fear it at all. Got on a train, like, cool. You know, different than a horse. But not everyone's like that. There's, and I think AI we're seeing that play out in front of us, where people, you see it in the media, like it's just fear. It's like, you've been interacting with AI for a while now. So, like, how do you think Amazon does most of what it does?
Yeah.
You know, they don't have a bunch of people pounding out things. It's AI. So, I don't have any other questions, Ryan. This has been fantastic.
This has been really good and interesting. It's been a pleasure to talk with you. And for everyone that's still listening, please subscribe, share. This is a great episode, so share it with your peers. And if you see us out there, say hello somewhere.